I just got a call from my work and they let me know that I was getting laid off today. And so I was laid off from work today. And it's a lot. Like, there's the fires going on in LA. My birthday just happened a few days ago. I thought this was going to be my year. And I just got laid off. I've been at this company for over 6 years. And, I don't even know what to do. Obviously, I have to file for unemployment. I'm just like in shock. But here's the biggest thing. A few months ago, I filed a sexual assault investigation at work because something happened. And around like December, they finally finished the investigation. And they really didn't do anything. And a month later, here I am getting let go, and I just feel like this seems very fishy, and I don't know too much about the law. But if there's any like lawyers on here, and if somebody can help me, if I have a case here, let me know. But yeah, I don't know what to do.
Well, not how I wanted to start my 2025. I was just laid off. This is actually the first time I've ever been laid off, so I don't really know what to even do or how to process anything. I just dropped off my laptop. It sucks the most because I seriously was only at this company for 2 months. I literally got this job in October and loved every single second of it. Unfortunately, the company was acquired and a lot of us were let go. Nothing you can do about it, but it definitely sucks. I have no idea what I want to do. I don't know if I want to even keep working for a company or what. I got my real estate license back in early October. I'm like, maybe I should just pursue that. But I also really liked the idea of having like a stable income with a job. I'm also getting married this year and have lots of expenses. So yeah, I still know it's going to be a great year. Like, I'm truly trying to be positive. I know everything happens for a reason, but yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
The real F around and find out moment is here. A lot of people are looking at the Black community thinking that we are the recipients and benefactors of DEI programs and affirmative action programs. And I know affirmative action is no longer, but whenever they hear the term DEI or they hear the term affirmative action, they look to the Black community thinking that we are the benefactor. Now, here's some information for you. The number one recipient of DEI are white women. That is according to the U.S. Department of Labor. And others fall under that group, under the minority group, the ethnic minority. Number one recipient under that group are Latino and Hispanic Americans. Number two are Asian Americans. Number three are Native Americans. Number four, individuals with disability. Number five, veterans. Okay? And number six, the LGBTQ plus community. And guess who comes last at receiving DEI benefits? Guess who comes last? That's right. Black Americans. Black people. Let me also say, you can do a Google search and you will see the primary benefactors of DEI programs are not only white women, but white men, white male CEOs. Those are the ones who have benefited the most from DEI initiative programs.
So When diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is DEI, policies were being rolled out, a lot of people assumed they were just for minorities, especially for Black Americans. And fast forward to today, and now that DEI is being pulled back. And the white folks, especially, are shocked to find out that they were actually benefiting from it too. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide. And today we are diving into the fallout of DEI policies being rolled back. So there's been a wave of layoffs, and it turns out that some of the very people who thought DEI was just for blacks and brown folks, they are actually realizing it played a role in their own careers as well. So let's get into it.
DEI did not benefit black people en masse. It benefited a couple of token blacks. And I'm sorry, y'all gonna lose your little token benefits. But DEI did not benefit the masses of African people. Barack Obama is the first president to use the words diversity, equity, and inclusion in his DEI initiative that he signed in August of 2011, mandating that the federal government take steps to diversify, include, and guarantee equity for minorities. But it was all about the rainbow. That law was about immigrants and rainbow gangers. It was not about black people. Yes, you have a few black people who are going to lose some DEI benefits, but we are 42 million. And when we add our African immigrant brothers and sisters in, we're about 45, 48. I'm going to round it up because they always suppress our numbers. I'm going to round it up to 50 million Africans in America. Somebody help me understand how Barack Obama's DEI has benefited black people in these past 16 years. Help me understand. Affirmative action is not the same as DEI. Affirmative action was destroyed by George Bush in the opening years of the 21st century. He destroyed it. The Supreme Court destroyed it. Affirmative action has not been a governmental priority since Lyndon Baines Johnson. Affirmative action has been dead. Affirmative action been dead. That's why Barack Obama called it diversity, equity, and inclusion. Why didn't Barack Obama call it affirmative action? Why didn't Barack Obama call it affirmative action? Why didn't Barack Obama call it affirmative action? I'll tell you why Barack Obama didn't call it affirmative action. Barack Obama didn't call it affirmative action because he didn't want it associated with black people. He didn't want it associated with black people. You're fighting for something that was not created to help you. Let me say it again for the kunocracy in the back. You're fighting for something that was not created to help you. Let me say it one more time. You're fighting for something that wasn't created to help you. They are distracting you from your main fights.
I lost my job today because of Trump. And listen, I know that firing people is his favorite thing to do. And that's what we love in a leader. Somebody who takes glee in firing people. That's somebody with integrity, correct? Correct. We love this. I got fired today when I was working on a project for a contract. This was a 2-year contract that the executive director reached out to me and said, hey, Noelle, I know you just got laid off. I have something. It's just a couple of hours a week, but we're looking to get someone that can help us with this program. We're getting women into trade jobs, and we just need them to be able to get the training and support that they need. We want to make sure that leaders have what they need to make sure that women feel included when they get into these roles. We want it to be as smooth as possible. I know that you can do it. Can you take this job? And it was just enough to keep me afloat and do something that makes an impact. And the Department of Labor said today that I had to stop working. I know that I'm going to have people in my comments that are thrilled that somebody like me who helps people with disabilities, who helps veterans, who helps pregnant women, who helps parents, who helps Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, I know that they are so gleeful that people like me get fired for helping others. I know that that makes their day.
So, if you thought DEI was all about helping blacks, this next clip is about to shake things up. So this particular white woman is saying that she's exposing the fact that DEI wasn't really designed for black people, the way many assumed. So let's hear what she has to say.
I'm going to tell you a story about DEI. Now, that is the buzzword that is being used by the maggots because they think that DEI means that it's black people getting ahead of them, when it was the complete opposite. I worked for a major corporation, one of the largest corporations in America. In my 40-year career, I had only 2 men, one as a supervisor and one as a manager. Every other time was a white woman. Every director I had was a white woman. Every supervisor, every manager. And do you know why these major corporations put these white women in all of these affirmative action jobs? Sexual harassment. It was safer to have women in these positions so that corporations would not have to deal with sexual harassment from men. So don't get it twisted, you MAGA, or you white men. This affirmative action and DEI has benefited the white population of women in America than anyone else.
Next time you hear someone say they agree with Donald Trump rolling back all DEI efforts, ask them what it stands for. Say, what does DEI stand for? I had this exact conversation just a few days ago with someone, and they were going on and on about how much they hate DEI and how, you know, someone in their industry, a woman, has a much higher up position than this particular person did, and it was a DEI hire and all this other stuff. I said, what does DEI stand for? I don't know. You don't know what DEI stands for, but you're bitching about it? DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Inclusion. Oh my God. Horrible. Horrible inclusion. A little inclusion. Fucking horrible. What we teach our fucking kids. Horrible stuff. Horrible stuff, all you God-loving people. God forbid we teach inclusion. But seriously, though, say, what does it mean? What does it stand for? Because they don't even fucking know. And you know what it stands for? It stands for white Christian straight men being terrified that people are more qualified than them, and they're actually going to have to work harder to now get the jobs. They're going to have to work harder to prove that they deserve the job. You know what this person who was complaining about this woman being a DEI hire missed the entire point? She's way more qualified. Way more qualified. That's why she got the job. Not because she's a woman, because she's way more qualified than you small fucking white man. That's why. That's why, you dumbasses. Guys, just do a Google. Just learn what DEI stands for before we start complaining about it. And then also just try harder. Work harder. White men don't deserve everything. White, straight, Christian men don't just deserve everything. They don't.
Now, let me give my take on this. Now, you see, when DEI policies were in place, companies could point to their diversity hires. But you see, many times those hires weren't just black the communities. Like, plenty of those black professionals still struggle to move up in their careers, even with the DEI initiatives. And now that DEI is being cut, the same people who thought it was only about helping minorities are realizing that it was actually benefiting them as well. So, interestingly, black people have expressed skepticism about the effectiveness of DEI initiatives. And now they argue that these programs often benefit white people, particularly white women, more than black employees. And to support that, report also indicates that black people constitute only 4% of DEI supervisory positions in the workplace, while as for white individuals, it makes up to 76%. So you can see the difference. And so this disparity suggests that DEI programs may not fully address the challenges faced by black professionals. And now that we've seen the fallout of DEI being rolled back, let's just be real, this was never really for black people. From the start, these policies were pushed as a way to create diversity in quotes. But when you actually look at who benefited the most, it wasn't the black community. It was mainly for white people to get into leadership positions, white men keeping workplaces safe in quotes from lawsuits, and also companies using DEI as a way to check a box. without truly uplifting black employees. Let's just be real. And even when DI was in full effect, black workers still were struggling to get the promotions. They were still facing discrimination. They were still being underpaid compared to their white counterparts. And now that DEI is gone, the same people who acted like it was only for the black people, they're now realizing it was protecting them as well. So guys, it leaves me to ask you, what do you think about all this? Was it all just a corporate game, or did it actually make a difference? Let's talk about it in the comments. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.